drive the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota Nascar Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Hi guys.
Hello. Glad we finally got here. Yeah.
I don't know what took you guys so long. What in the heck? Now I gotta go push buttons here now. I just noticed that stuff's coming through. It's called grabbing the wrong camera.
Uh-oh. The wrong camera.
That's alright. Like it still works.
Yeah, well,
it works.
I just gotta get rid of this.
Oh yeah. It looks
So
a little
anyway.
crooked area. It's either Jack's heavier than I am, so he's down further than me. Well, let's talk racing.
Yeah, well, let's talk racing.
But first of all, before we talk racing, let's talk about auto mechanics.
What, are you a mechanic?
No. I heard you were.
I heard you were. Well, I own a shop.
There we go.
But we can't get a vehicle to Martinsville.
I got it. We got a vehicle to Martinsville.
How many tries?
But was it the one you originally started with?
No. Well, that wasn't my truck, though. The high pressure oil pump went out.
Alright, now his truck, the differential went out on.
I didn't even try to take it, though. See, that shouldn't count against me.
You're a mechanic.
That used to sound like my wife. She, when the guy was working on my truck last night, she's like, I don't understand why you got somebody else working on your truck. I'm like, well, differentials is not what I do.
It's not your strong suit.
It's not my expertise. About like me driving a race car.
He puts air in tires.
Right.
He puts air in tires and gets tickets. That's all he does.
Well,
It's about like, you know, I introduced you to Barry. That was actually my first, or actually my second employer. I worked for him for like 10 years. And I used to tell everybody when I worked for him that he was like the highest paid oil changer, tire checker in the nation, and I wanted to be just like him.
Alright.
alright, so
How's that working for you?
about
Not that well.
Oh. That's about
But
like
I'm still trying.
That's about your race, like you and your racing and your arena car.
No, I don't think it's doing that good. But Martinsville was fun.
yes,
It was a good race. I was really glad to see Kurt Busch to win. I mean, for his sake. And it was fun to see him in a media center talking about, I keep wanting to call him stepson, I don't really know the boy's name, his girlfriend's son.
Yeah.
He actually got kind of choked up talking about taking him to
young
the victory.
Mr. Driscoll anyway. Young Mr. Driscoll anyway.
Man, I know it.
Connor?
No. It starts with an H.
Hunter.
Something like that.
Something like
But
he's really high on the kid. And it was fun. It was good to see him how emotional he got when he started talking about taking him to victory lane, and the boy didn't know what to do, and he was excited and all glassy eyed, and I was happy for him. It was good to see.
Lee and I spoke to him as he was going from the track to the media center.
Oh, did you?
And Lee went up and talked to him, and I was with Lee when he went up there, and he had a little bit of an emotional thing there too. With, you know, it was a big deal to him. I mean,
Yeah.
And
it's good to see somebody fall down on their face and make it back. I mean, I wouldn't say he's completely back, but I mean, obviously the boy's got some driving ability.
Oh, the funny thing is, Lisa, as well. I'm glad Kurt won, but that killed my bonus.
Well, you gotta have your priorities.
That killed my bonus.
Well, I mean, there's a few times I thought once Jimmy got by him, I thought it was over because I mean, Jimmy is. I mean, he's just dominated there.
It was a good race. I mean, they swapped it back and forth there a few times at the end of the race. It was really good.
But there wouldn't have been no doubt in my mind if Kurt would have been on his bumper, and if he had to, he'd have moved him.
Oh yeah.
Or he'd have done everything he could.
And I think had Jimmy got to his bumper close enough to where he could have done something, he'd have probably moved him too.
Yeah.
It was at that point where it was going to happen. One way or the other it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody going to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jimmy was just too loose. He said he was getting sideways, kind of getting in the corner, and he just couldn't hang on. And that's how Kurt got under him that last time. They went on the car. And he just got loose, chased it up the racetrack, and then it was all over from there.
It's a shame that Clint Boyer,
Man,
they messed up on their pit stop. Basically through the race right there. I mean, that was the end of that.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to Curtis afterwards, his coach driver, because I always give him a hard time. He's a funny guy, but yeah, I thought he had it. I mean, I thought it was pretty much over.
And then the 24 had their problem that they came in for a pit stop and they ordered a change on the pit stop and the guy did the wrong change.
It went the opposite way.
The opposite way with that.
And they decided, well, we better come on back in because we can't leave you out there like that. Came back in, and of course, then
Was that early in the race?
That's when he ran in the back of that car. Yeah, it was pretty early in the race.
Okay, yeah, that was like the first or second
And
stop. Yeah.
from that point on, he said he didn't have anything that remotely get him back to the front. So
Yeah, I was listening to him a little bit. I don't think he acted like he really didn't know what to do to the car.
nobody did.
Now, what about the little deal between Kurt and Brad?
Oh,
I mean, it was great for TV.
Oh, it's going to be great this week too. It's going to be great this weekend too because Brad's determined to.
But, I don't think Brad really has any reason to be mad. I mean, I don't know what he expected Kurt to do. Kurt went and tried to go around and he turned into his door. I mean, I love it because it's great for the sport.
I think that was part of it, but the other part was they banged each other a few times on the track too.
Yeah, but that was
Before,
after.
no, this was before that.
Oh, was it?
Yes, this was before that. They had
So that
bumped-
just
they
aggravated.
just bumped into each other a few times on the track before that, and then it happened like it did.
Well, Brad said he's being careless.
Yeah, and I heard what he said about Brad too. So. Yeah, he was careless.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because I don't know who it was. He said that statement in the media center, and somebody said something. He says, "I don't really care,"
And he don't.
No, he doesn't.
So it'll be interesting this week.
But I like that about Kurt though. I like somebody that really says their feelings and doesn't really, not say sugarcoat it, but and I understand like Jimmy. You always say Jimmy's vanilla, and outside of the racetrack he's not, but to the fan side of it he is.
Yes.
He does the proper thing. He says the proper thing. He doesn't get it. But
Ain't nothing in the world vanilla about Kurt Busch. I'm telling you. I have listened to Kurt on the radio. I know there's nothing vanilla about him.
But he is better. I mean, I've listened to him on the radio now, and he is much calmer, I believe. And I think his girlfriend has been good for him.
He had a girlfriend when he was doing all the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. He still had Eva in his life back then.
No. This is when he was with the 51. And
Well,
he had her.
he was still learning.
Yeah.
He was still getting. He's probably still
All right,
going through
get back with me about halfway through the season if things are still not going well. Okay, just get back with me.
Yeah, well,
And listen to what he has to say then. Yeah, get back with me on that one. Because I know how it works. I've seen how it works. I was the one who was standing there and almost got mowed down by a gas can and everything when he went to throwing stuff.
What else went on at Martinsville? Do we know?
There was a race.
There was a race. It was a good race. The
truck
truck race was pretty good.
I didn't stay for it, but I heard it.
Yeah, neither did I. I had 3 green white checkers at the end they tried and ended up finishing under caution. Matt Crafton won in the race. I wonder if a few people were mad at each other at the end of that thing too.
I'm sure there were. I know one of the Spencer Gallagher was pretty upset. He got out. But did you see Brian Silas?
No.
Oh, when he fell?
He fell out of the truck
Well,
on his head.
Get out!
Fell back.
I heard that about it.
It looked like he didn't quite hit his head because he had his Hans device right behind his head.
Well, maybe not that, but he went down on it. I mean, he was going down on
He's
it.
like, pass out or what?
No, he went to get out, and when he turned around, his foot was still stuck. And if you ever try to get out of the car and your foot doesn't come with you and you're starting to go back, that's what he did. Is he just basically fell backwards.
I was listening to the radio, and Dave Moody and them were on doing the radio, and he said, I believe he just fell out of the truck.
Well, Dave doesn't sugarcoat much either.
Yeah, that's what I was going down the road. I busted out laughing. I said, he fell out of the truck. How did he fall out of the truck? Telephone's ringing.
Let's talk racing.
We'll talk radio.
Hey, Patrick. Doing good.
Oh, he called you.
Yeah, he called us.
Okay.
Hang on a second. We'll get you back on the main line, okay?
Watch me. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Patrick Staropoli, how you doing?
Staropoli.
Guys, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. This is Jack Dodson. Got Scott Lee, Roger Brehm here. So how's things going down your way?
Scott Lee.
Things are great, man.
Scott Allen, I'm sorry.
For about a week after a win at Irwindale last weekend, and just enjoying it, soaking up every moment, looking forward to the next race.
That's good stuff.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, I watched the thing last year, you know, when you were doing the Peak Challenge and everything. I watched that, but tell everybody about basically how you got started and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a different start in racing than most kids did. I mean, I grew up at the racetrack. My dad was a racer for about 20 years, and I went to my first race when I was about 6 months old, I think, and have been going pretty much every Saturday since I was a kid, and started off in go-karts a little bit later than most kids when I was 13. I moved up from there to Pearce at my local short track and pro trucks, and I've been racing super late models for the last couple of years around Florida, and then we got this whole opportunity, like you mentioned, with the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge last year. So that was just such a cool deal. I mean, there's over 700 entries. You had to put in a video saying why Peak should sponsor you. They had a 3-day competition in Charlotte that was on TV, and luckily we won that deal. Got a one-race chance with Bill McAnally to race the K&N West Series. Finished 5th in that one. Got everybody really psyched and put together this 5-race schedule that we had this year. So Irwindale was our 4th race, and we took home the victory in that. So hopefully it turns some more heads, and we'll get some more races this year.
So, I mean, it was just for the 5, you only got the 5 races. Are you going to be doing any other racing other than that?
Yeah, well, I still have my late model, so we're planning on running a few races in Florida later on this year once I get that thing back together. And, I mean, on the K&N side, it all really depends on if we could bring more partners into our program to be able to help fund more races. Right now, the next one we have planned is Iowa on May 17th, and just kind of the whole plan that Peak MWR and Bill McAnally had in mind was picking these big races that have lots of publicity and exposure to try and get potential sponsors and other race teams to see how well we ran. And I think our performance this year has been great, and we've attracted a lot of attention in the garage area. So it's just a matter of putting all those pieces of the puzzle together and get more people on board to run the rest of the schedule.
So how much involvement does Michael Waltrip Racing have in all this with you and Bill McAnally now? I mean, I know it's all part of that deal, but how much do you get from them? How much information or stuff do you get from them?
They've been very supportive through the whole process. I mean, Michael and Ty Norris were 2 of the judges in the competition, and my first 2 K&N races I ran, Michael was actually a teammate to me in both of those races. So he was very helpful getting adapted to these bigger, heavier cars from the late models I was used to driving. And, even when it came to the point of putting together the deal for the 5 races this year, it was kind of MWR that negotiated things between Peak and Bill McAnally. So they've been really instrumental in getting me in this seat, and anything I've needed from them, whether it was performance stuff on the track or how to handle sponsor publicity stuff outside of the track, they've been great just reaching out to them for advice.
So when you're not racing, and do you go to the Waltrip shops, or do you go out there with the races and with them when they're racing to see what they're doing and pay attention to what's going on with them?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure of hanging out with those guys down at Homestead at the finale last year, Daytona 500 this year. and then also Fontana a couple weeks ago. So been able to sit on the pit box, see how a regular Cup weekend runs. When Chief has sponsored Boyer in some of the races, I also got to participate in like their autograph sessions and pre-race type of festivities they had, and they introduced me. So I mean, that's been great for attracting new fans and getting your name out there at a Cup race, which is not something your average short track racer gets to do. So they've been great from that angle. And then otherwise, outside of the actual racing, I've been working at Bill McAnally's shop, both on the West Coast and the East Coast, to try to help prep the cars for some of the races we ran. So, really getting fully immersed in it and having a lot of fun doing it.
Now, how much did you learn, like going through the peak challenge of doing the marketing side of it? Because the marketing is such a big thing. It's sad to say, but it's not 100% of what you can do behind the steering wheel. It's how well you represent the brand.
It's definitely a balance between those two things, and that's kind of something they really put emphasis on during the peak challenge. I mean, we went on the super speedway, the short track, there's a road course inside Charlotte Motor Speedway, but two of the other things that had to do was a mock press conference in the media room, and then we also shot a fake peak commercial with Danica Patrick. And so, since the sponsor in this case was approaching a potential group of drivers and trying to pick out who was the best to represent them, they wanted someone who could talk well behind the camera and represent their brand and sell some products. So, I mean, that was a huge part of it, and it's just something, I've been racing for over 10 years now, and trying to get sponsors for that long, you realize how critical that is, just as important as what you can do behind the wheel. So, definitely something that they looked at.
Now, did you realize that going into it, or is that something, did you learn a lot? And what are some of the things like you learned to help doing PRs?
Competition goes, they really didn't tell us what the format was at all before we went there. So I think a lot of people were surprised that was a big part of it. And just over the years of racing, I've kind of learned, because the super late models, we run everything out of the one-car garage here at my house. It's me, my dad, and my buddy Anthony that do everything on this car. So we know how much it takes to go racing and how important it is to be able to bring sponsors on board. So that's something that I think, as you race over time, you just become savvy with.
I got you. Now, being involved with Michael Waltrip Racing, are you able, or have you been able to go to any of the tests that they've run, or do any testing with those guys?
I'm really pushing for that, but so far they have a full schedule of people that they got testing and everything like that. So I haven't been able to line something like that up yet, but I definitely like to.
So you've gotten to hang around Clint a little bit. Why? I know that's got to be an experience.
Yeah, man, Clint's a ball of fire. That's hilarious. We went hunting during.
Oh my God!
You went with him with a gun?
Yeah, that was probably a bad life decision, right? But no, he's a good guy. It was my first time going hunting, and we went with him and Brian Emmerich from Peak and a couple other guys. That was a ton of fun. He came out to the Irwindale race this past weekend and was the grand marshal for it. And he's a good guy. Anytime I need some advice on racing things like that too, he's been there for me at the competition last year. So he's a fun guy.
He hasn't tried to play any jokes on you, though. He's quite the jokester.
Yeah, I've heard that. So far, there's no pranking going on, but maybe he's just planning an elaborate one. So.
Well, if you hang around that pit crew he's got, or that travel crew he's got with him at the racetrack, you're going to get it eventually, because I can tell you it's going to happen.
I'll be on the lookout.
Because I've been around them. I know how they are.
Well, it's better to hear Tony. I didn't realize, but I know Tony was always a big jokester, but I didn't know he liked to light people on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, I got something. I was listening to an interview you did the other day, and you amazed me with something that was on that interview. Now, this don't have nothing to do with racing, but I understand you graduated from Harvard.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
So you're not a dummy. I mean, we know that already, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
That's a given thing.
And so they say something, and I'm sitting beside a race car driver, and I did some racing. And if you take anything from the one I'm sitting beside it, he's not wrapped too tight. But you definitely got to be wrapped pretty good to be able to, and now going to medical school.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, it's been a handful, but, I've been juggling racing in school for so long. I've been racing over 10 years now, and obviously having school that whole time with it. But it's just really getting used to time management, figuring out when's the best way to do things. Last semester actually got to be quite a handful when we ran the first two K&N races, because we went all the way to Washington for one and California for the other, and then having to come back that next week and had a big exam. So, luckily, I go to the University of Miami, and they've been great this year as far as giving me the flexibility I need to run these races and be able to spend some time in the shop. And at the same time, I'm doing research down at the school at the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute with a mentor that I have. So, still taking care of things on the school side, but also we'll focus on the racing. So, I'm a lucky kid right now.
Yeah, you are, and you should be admired for what you do, because you turned in to be one of my favorites, because I just can't believe you got all that going on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
That says a lot, because he lets me sit here beside him, but he don't like me.
That's not true.
Well, that's pretty good. So what is your plan so far as school? I mean, you trying to be a doctor, or I mean, obviously this is a backup plan.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2.5 years left right now in medical school, and right now I'm on a 1-year kind of gap year to be able to do research and then also run these races. So I'm kind of just taking everything, one at a time as it comes right now. I'm really just enjoying the opportunity I have to compete in these K&N races, and hopefully we'll get some more, towards the end of this year here and see what it can develop into. I mean, it's been my dream to be a race car driver, ever since I was 6 months old. I went to my first race and everything like that. So I'm having kind of the ride of a lifetime right now, and just want to see how far we can take it.
Now, did you said your dad raced? Did you ever get to race against your dad?
Actually, we raced one time together in a Pearce stock down at Highway Speedway.
Who won?
And yeah, we have an argument till this day where he ran into me. My door, but he was already a lap down. So that was the one time we raced against each other. It was really cool to be able to race Dad.
That's pretty funny. I think Kyle Petty said one time his first race, he said he got disqualified, and they said, what happened? He says, well, Richard finished behind him and he protested him, so Kyle got disqualified and the King won the race.
Now, when you expand your school to where you start doing your residency work at the hospital, how are you gonna work all that together then? I mean, I know you got to get there first, but what do you think the situation is going to be then?
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a good answer for that right now. Everything's sort of up in the air. Obviously, residency, I mean, you're working in the hospital for way too many hours a week, and at that point, it would be very difficult scheduling-wise to make things happen. But I'm taking just the time that we have right now to see what happens. I mean, Iowa, in my mind, I'm not planning for that to be the last race. That's kind of what we set out with this year, thinking that we just had a 5-race deal. So, and how things go will kind of determine the path that I take, and let's go from there.
So in your late models, you're just going to be running in the Florida area, or are you going to expand out and go to other places too, or what?
With kind of the budget we have on the late model stuff, we usually just stick to Florida. We'll go around to New Smyrna, Orlando, DeSoto, all those kind of tracks. It's kind of too expensive for us to travel around, but I do have my bucket list of late model races I'd love to get to one day. Obviously, like Snowball Derby, Winchester 400, that type of thing. So eventually, we'll make it out of the state and go run those races. But for now, just stick with Florida stuff.
So what drove you to be or want to be a doctor? Is somebody a doctor in your family?
No, actually, no one's a doctor in my family. No one's actually been to college in my family before me. It was kind of a weird group of circumstances that came about. We mentioned earlier my dad was a race car driver, and actually he got in a really bad accident back in 2001.
Hang on a second.
He was in the hospital for a long time recovering from that. And, it's not something like at that time I saw my dad get killed by the doctors, and I was like, I want to become a doctor. But it was something that definitely stuck in the back of my head that, wow, that's cool that medicine can do that. I mean, my dad's perfectly fine now if you ever met him, and you would never know how bad of an accident he was in. So, being a little kid, that definitely left an impression on me. And then when I went away to college for those 4 years, I was up at Harvard. I majored in neurobiology, and a lot of the classes you had to take for that were the same as the required classes for med school. So I got a lot of exposure that way too. And just when it came time to make a decision about what to do after college, it made the most sense. My dad's accident and everything I learned in school and how you could help people through medicine, and that's why I went in that direction.
Well, that's really cool. Me and Jack are not going to be allowed to hang around you because we're not that smart, and we're just going to look even dumber then.
You're lucky I let you hang around me.
No.
Hang out at the track whenever you want, man.
Well, let me tell you something. I want to thank you for coming on and calling in tonight. I'm going to keep up with you, keep in touch with you. We're going to get you back on ever so often to see how things are going with you. And I want to say one thing. I really admire what you do.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, that means a lot. Thank you guys for having me on tonight. It seems like you have a really good old time on this show. So.
Well, we do, and even with Scott here, we do.
Hey,
So.
it's hard to soar like an eagle when you hang around a bunch of pigeons.
At least you didn't say chickens.
Go ahead and thank any sponsors. Anybody you want to thank, Patrick, before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely. I need to thank, obviously, Brian Emmerich and everyone at Peak Motor Oil and Andy Breed for giving me this opportunity and shot at NASCAR. MWR, Bill McAnally Racing, and then just also on the local level with my late model, Rosie's Auto Care, American Auto Electric, and Paul Transmission. They've been helping me get to the racetrack for many years now, and then kind of set the stage for me entering the Peak Challenge last year. So, thank you for everybody getting me in the position I'm in, and thank you guys again for having me on.
Well, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again, and I'll get in touch with you soon so we can get together sometime.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night, guys.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, take care. Bye.
Just hit the flashing button. Hit the
confused?
flashing button. There you go.
What a good kid, though.
Got your trained monkeys over there. Finally got the phone answered. Hello, Jenae.
Hi, how's it going?
We're having a blast.
You may not want to be on this show again after today, but
You might be pulling the plug after tonight.
you got Jack Dodson and Scott Allen and Roger Brehm here tonight. And give us a little background on you and where you got started and everything.
My parents raced, my grandparents raced. Pretty much, my cousin Damon Murray offered me a car. I was pretty much into the basketball and softball type of thing. And when he did that, I told my dad, and he wasn't too happy about it, but he let me get behind the wheel, and he gave it a try, and I ended up falling in love with it.
So where do you race, and what kind of racing do you do?
I drive a limited modified Northern Sport Mod up just locally, out of Marshtown, Iowa, Benton, Iowa, Crown Boone, too.
So you've been around and getting a lot of seat time with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to just do like the weekend type of thing, be hit and miss specials as well.
So who, growing up, was your favorite race car driver?
Oh man. Oh, it just kind of depends. I like Tony Stewart. He's an all-around driver and everything.
Yeah.
That's how you ended up on this show, isn't it?
I figured she was from the Midwest. Everybody from the Midwest is he must have a ton of
Well, Roger likes Tony Stewart, so I figured it had to be a Tony Stewart
relation there, huh?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have a lot of guys that I look up to anyways. Jimmy Owens, Ryan Berghofer. My brother Ryan's a huge part in everything I do. I mean, he helps me out all the time.
So then who's the better race car driver between you and your brother?
Oh, man, my brother.
You're not supposed to give in that easy.
Oh, I don't know. I think it'd be fun if he were to ever find a sport mod and try to run against me. I think that'd be a good time, I think, anyways.
So what kind of racing did your parents and grandparents do?
Oh, both my grandpa DeFrance and my grandpa Gustin, they kind of did some like stock cars. This was back in the day when they didn't even wear like helmets. They just open face type deals, regular seat belts. Crazy. They ain't got, I don't know, they must have a death wish or something. My parents both did like stock cars when my dad went around. I mean, he pretty much just drove everything. And then they did that. My dad got into the modifieds real big, and then he started my brothers in like the limited modifieds and like hobby stock. Then they started me in it.
Is your brother still driving?
Oh yeah, I have a brother Jimmy, Richie, and Ryan. They all race modifieds. Jimmy and Richie race the IMCA modified, and Ryan races the Open USMTS modified. He's also doing the Suzuki Soil World of Outlaw Late model.
Wow. Okay.
Y'all been full of racing.
Oh yeah, we're all around. I got a bunch of cousins that race, and they're real big in the stock cars. And we're all just an all-around, all-American racing family, I guess.
I hope y'all got a lot of sponsors.
My main sponsors are Krystal Racing, CPD Racing Tools, iBox Springs, 62 Graphics, Real Race Wheels, Fast Shaft, Weird Machines, J&B Napa, Murray.
Dang. I need some help with some sponsorship. It sounds like you got this guy going pretty good.
He also needs some help with some talent. So if you want to help with that, would be good too.
That's usually what you hear from the guys that hit the wall.
More, that's for sure. If any big money people want to come along, that'd be great.
Usually when the guys hit the wall, that's when they say, I ran out of talent.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know what to say about that, I guess.
Well, you got to understand how this guy is. I mean, 2 or 3 laps into the race, and that's usually about as far as it gets.
Yeah.
She's trying to be nice.
Yeah, I said she's really being nice to you.
So, I just lost my train of thought there.
All out of one shot.
Do y'all run all those cars out of one shop?
Oh no, we wouldn't be able to get along.
Well, that sounds like a family that races it.
Oh yeah, I race out of my mom and dad's single stall garage. My brother Ryan races out of Wichita, Kansas. They got a huge shop. I mean, you can fit a huge hauler and everything in there. My brother Jimmy races out of his shop, and my brother Richie will race out of his shop. I'm sure if we all had to race together, it wouldn't be fun.
Now, mostly you done is dirt racing?
Oh yeah, that's all we do. Just oval, dirt track.
Do you do any of the big races, like Knoxville or somewhere like that? Do you do any of those?
I've been to the Harris Clash. We didn't run so hot, but I'm sure this year we're going to do great. I mean, our car this year is just completely dialed in. The people that jumped on board helped us out a lot.
Well, I tell you, with all those people involved in racing, you got to be able to pull some stuff from everybody to help you out.
Oh yeah, I mean, my brothers and my dad and my grandpas they're just some of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met in this deal of racing. Frank Simonetti with iBox. I mean, if I have any questions about springs, he knows about everything. And then Denny Fuller, he does my shocks with CPD. That guy, I mean, he's been in and out, I mean, all around type of racing. And I know if I go to him with any sort of question, I mean, he should be able to answer it. He usually does anyway.
Now, how many female racers are there in that area racing in this series?
Oh, not many. I don't seem to race against very many. There's a few, like a handful, I suppose. I mean, yeah. It just kind of depends, I guess. There's a couple in stock cars, and I think there might be one more at Boone that races against me.
So, I mean, how is it if you outrun those guys? How do they feel about all that? I mean, we've heard.
You just love it, right?
Oh man, they don't like it. They do not like. For one, I'm a young female, and for two, I'm fast. So we're either cheating or everything else. We've had our engines sent in, we've had tires sent in, we've had our chip box, our chips sent in. Man, we ain't cheating. Go ahead and tear it down. I mean, go ahead. But you're doing the work. I don't feel like doing it. I don't care. They can tear me down on any night of the week they want. They can come to the shop. They can do whatever. We ain't cheating nothing.
So, how long have you been racing, and how old were you when you started?
Oh, well, I mean, when David offered me that car, I was 14, but we just kind of win every once in a while. Just go and try to have fun. I mean, racing is about fun, but it's a lot more fun when you're winning. But we kind of hit and miss, I guess, just one night a week, if that. And finally a couple of years ago, my dad said we're going to get serious with this program, and then we just started racing every night. So realistically, these guys that I race against are 60 nights a week, and I've been racing one night a week. So I guess you could say I only have a couple of years under my belt.
Well, how old are I hope it don't bother you when I ask you this question, but how old are you now?
What's that?
How old are you now?
Oh, I'm 19. I'm getting old.
Oh God.
All right. Well, I'm not even gonna go there. But what is your plan? What would you like to accomplish in racing down the road? Where would you like to go?
Oh man, my goals are huge. I mean, some of them will probably be able to reach, some of them not. I'd like to get my name out and then hopefully someone will take me up and try to do what my brother did and race for like an open modified team and go from there. I love racing so much, and I'm pretty decent at it that it'd be cool to try to make a living doing it.
So do you want to do like open wheel stuff, or do you want to go like stock car racing and asphalt?
Anything, really. I mean, anything that'll take me anywhere and I can get paid for it, that'd be awesome. I mean, open wheel modifieds, those are, I mean, that's pretty much what I run now. They're so loaded fun. If I were to get a late model shot or something from there, you know, I obviously will have to prove myself before, but whatever anything would take me, I mean, I'd definitely be open to it.
Well, there's a question that one of the guys that usually sits in here with us asked this question. At your age, do you have a time frame that you're looking at to move on, move to the next step, move beyond that? Do you have a time frame set up, or are you just going to try to fill it out and see where it takes you?
I would like to, I'd like it, you know, to just come and smack me in the face as fast as it can, you know. But, I'll probably have to take it down and wait it out. But, I'd like to say, you know, in the next couple of years, but then again, I need more seat time, I need more experience. And if someone were to give me an opportunity with an A-mod, I'd definitely like to sit on that for a couple of years, see what I can do, and just, you know, work my way up, but, work my way up as fast as I can.
Well, that's the right way to do it, is to try to move along and see where you go. But you do need some time to build your seat time up to be able to understand what you got to do.
Right. I'm racing right now in a limited modified. I'm not going to go out tomorrow and jump in a Lucas Oil late model deal. That'd just be nuts. I wouldn't know what to do with all that power.
Well, yeah, you're right.
So where did the number 19 come from on your car? Was that like your grandfather or your dad's car number?
My grandpa Gustin always ran number 19, or no, he always ran number 9. And then my dad went to the racetrack and there was already a number 9 there, so he just slapped a piece of duct tape on there and it's been 19 ever since.
Okay, that's good.
Well, you seem to have a lot going on. Hopefully you'll branch out some this year and be able to move along.
I sure hope so.
Oof. Go ahead.
I was going to say, how big an influence or how much does your brothers really try to help you?
Oh man, Ryan's actually bought me an engine. He does everything that he can for me. All my stuff, we're kind of low budget racers, you know, my parents anyways. Ryan got lucky and got a open deal, but I have hand-me-downs. Everything's hand-me-downs except my shoes, just because I ain't got big old flippers like him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have his old race suit, his old helmets. I have old gloves. They got holes in them. He helps me out a ton. My brothers, Richie and Jimmy, since we're all pretty much on the basic Hoosier G60s, they'll give me like their takeoffs they've already been burnt through. I don't get new tires or nothing, and we aren't able to groove them, so I just type them up good, mount them up, and it's all good to go.
Well, good for you. I think that's. You learn a lot that way. You get to learn how to do it on your own car, and you can't just start out at the top. At least it hasn't worked out well for me.
No.
Racing on your roof has worked well for you.
Right.
I didn't mean nothing like that. Like,
I don't know what he was talking about either. Talking about starting out at the top. He lost me with that one.
They was pretty much telling me, you know, I'm not going to be some typical young little female racer that's going to go get my nails painted and not do any work on the car. I got to be out there all week, every night, putting in hours on the car. I got to scale the car. I got to go over every single nut and bolt. I mean, and I think it's paid off. I think it makes you a lot better driver when you're out there working on your stuff rather than.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get to learn how much work is really involved. It's not just showing up and
You're a lot more. Yeah, you're definitely a lot more appreciative. I'm not going to go out there and rip my doors off and tear a bunch of stuff
Hey,
up.
I heard you flirting around with Caitlin.
Well, I tell you, you got a lot going on, and I hope everything works out good. You got any sponsors and everything you want to thank,
I heard about that.
and we'll hope we'll get back in touch with you soon, and hopefully you get a couple wins this year.
Give her a hard time too.
Hopefully we might shoot for a couple track championships. Finishing top 3 pretty much these past 3 years. We just go and hit and miss other big specials, but I think we're going to try to stay consistent on that deal and try to get some points locked up. But I got all my sponsors have helped me out a ton, like I said, CPD, Real Race Wheels, Krystal Racing, 62 Graphics, iBox Springs, JSB NASA, Fast Shaft, Pearce Machines, McCartney Welding, Hollow Race Engines, Quick Car Gauges. Oh man, I know I'm missing a couple.
We won't tell them.
I hope not. I hope they might be listening.
Ruh-roh.
Bit trucking. And oh man, if I'm forgetting one of them, I'm sorry, and I hope they know that I do appreciate it.
Well, good luck to you, and we'll keep in touch, and maybe we'll get you back here, and you can tell us some more about winning and winning some track championships.
Most definitely. I thank you guys for having me.
Well, we thank you taking time to call, and then we'll talk to you later.
All righty, see ya.
Oh man.
Oh man.
One more time, I was going to bust out.
That was pretty good, though. I mean,
Grace her.
Oh man.
all right, Monkey. I mean, Scott.
Let's talk racing.
Hello?
What's up, Gray? How you doing today?
Is this Greg Gaulding?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. You didn't answer my question. I said, is this Greg Gaulding?
Yes, sir. This is Greg Gaulding.
Oh, I thought it was the pizza delivery guy.
No, I ain't the pizza delivery guy, but I saw you on TV trying to hit on Caitlin Vincent. I'm kind of worried about you.
Oh yeah, that was a race up. That was a fun deal. She's a great girl.
You're probably never going to live that down. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, it's all good though.
Are you still counting down to your 18?
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm 16 right now, so I still got a little bit to go.
All right, well, at least you got lofty goals.
What, to make it to 18 or?
Well, Caitlin said he's got to be at least 18, right?
All right, now, Greg, tell us about Martinsville. How did what all took place and how things went in Martinsville?
We felt like it went pretty good. You know, it was my first truck race. And, you know, for not being able to go to a truck race and being at Martinsville, I feel like at the age of 16, I just turned 16 not too long ago. So to be able to run like we did, we ran in the top 10 mainly all day. You know, we didn't get to qualify, unfortunately. We had to go on first practice. First practice, we did a qualifying run a little bit too early, so we ended practice 11th. But they went off the first practice, so we started 11th in the race, but we were 4th in final practice. So, you know, you don't want to be 4th, though. You kind of wish they went off the final practice, but at least, you know, we were 11th on the inside. So, you know, from the start, I thought we had a really good truck. Can't thank Jeff Hensley enough. You know, Krispy Kreme Donuts, Trumer, Gemini Southern, Butler Built. You know, I feel like it. We had a great trip all weekend. The guys gave me a great trip, not only from the test. You know, we just kept working on it all weekend, but we had a good forward drive off the corner, good turn in the middle. And it's just Martinsville's, man. It's just kind of like a crapshoot. You got to make sure you're on the bottom on the restarts. We drove from 22nd to 8th, and we had that pit stop. So felt like it was pretty decent, and just unfortunately got wrecked there at the end.
Now, this opportunity you got with NTS, I mean, that's got to be a good thing that you've got NTS. You're in good with NTS, and you got guys like Brennan and Chase Pistone and all those guys over there. Tell us a little bit how you got involved with them.
The NTS deal came around. You know, we really have a really good relationship with the owner, Bob Newberry. He's a great friend of ours, and he wanted to invest in me, and we thought we could work out a deal. You know, at the time we were working with a lot of teams last year, and this year we made the move over to Chevrolet, and you know, we thought NTS had a better future. You know, I think everybody thought we were going to go to Turner Scott Motorsports, but we felt like with the people that we surround ourselves with, you know, with Jeff Hensley being my crew chief, you know, he won a lot of races, been able to do a lot of things in the truck series, and Jerry Kinn's Chase Pistone's crew chief. So we got a lot of great guys over there, and we just thought NTS had a better future, and we have ECR engine. Chevrolet helps us out a lot, you know, a lot of great engineers over there that we got. So felt like it was just a better opportunity, not only for me, but just the whole program, you know, with Krispy Kreme coming back on board, bringing Gemini Southern Trumu still with us as well. So just the whole deal has been working out real well. I'd love to get the guy a win, Bob Newberry, this year. We were able to get Steve Irvin, one of my great friends and guy. He's sponsored me ever since I was 8 years old, and I was able to get him a win last year at Phoenix. So hopefully we can cap that off with a victory here pretty soon.
Now, you're going to be running how many truck races this year?
I'll be able to run 9.
You're going to run 9. Well, that's pretty good. Do you already have the 9 races set where you're going to race, or is that something you're looking at down the road or whatever?
No, it just the thing is with the truck series, you know, I'm only allowed to run 9. That's the most I can possibly do with my schedule. Because I also ran in the Canyon Pro Series as well. But see, that's the thing. With me being only 16, I can't run the mile and a half. I can't run Charlotte, Texas, you know, the bigger tracks. But I can run Martinsville, Bristol, and, you know, Phoenix and more, Dover, which Dover is my next truck race.
So, do you have to be able to qualify up to move up to race these, or is it strictly an age thing?
Oh, yeah, you know, like I said, with my age being 16, I can only run this series. With the top 3 series, I can't run Nationwide or Cup until I'm 18. So, you know, we're very fortunate that NASCAR did what they did, letting me be able to be part of not only the NASCAR Next program, which is really cool, but also be able to run in the top 3, one of the top 3 series in the truck series, and just good to get that seat time doing pit stops and be able to run. A lot of veterans have been doing it a long time, so it's I think it's a win-win for me, just not only getting laps, but being able to do all the pit stops and get me set for the future.
All right, now tell us a little bit about your K&N stuff you're running. You're going to run the full season there. Are you going to be doing East and West races, or?
We're going to be doing right now. We're doing the full East series, and we're going to run Phoenix at the end of this year as well on the west side. But you know, Krispy Kreme is the primary sponsor on the K&N side, with Ryan McKinney as my crew chief. So I feel like we got a really good program over there as well. Almost won Bristol, finished second at Bristol. We're third in points right now. We were lead the points, but Greenville didn't go like we wanted to, but we got everything figured out. We're ready to go to the next one, which is Richmond. In Richmond last year, we almost won and basically dominated and got the pole, becoming the youngest to win the pole, so that was cool. So hopefully we can go back, and we feel like we got some unfinished business there in Richmond, and I like the track. I enjoy it. They always put on a good show, and hopefully I can win right there in front of my own crowd.
Now, you're originally from what? Where are you originally from?
Colonial Heights, Virginia.
I thought you were in that area because
Richmond boy.
yeah, I thought you were from up in that general area. Now I got a bone to pick with you too while I got you on here.
What, you didn't get no Krispy Kreme donuts?
I went to the race the other night. I went to your. I was there Friday. I went over to your pit stall. No Krispy Kremes. What's up?
Oh yeah, well, see, all the Krispy Kremes was outside. They had their trailer out there. Why didn't you go out there and get some?
Nobody told me that. Bob Newberry told us it was going to be over there at the pit stall. I went over there looking, and y'all ain't have none. I was really disappointed.
Now wait a minute, he didn't want to buy any Krispy Kreme. He wanted some free ones.
I'm sorry. Hey, I just get in there and drive.
I you were here at Langley last year, and I saw you bring a whole bunch of.
The whole Krispy Kreme trailer was out there, and it was packed. I mean, probably if you would have tried waiting in the line, you probably would have been there 30 minutes, because it's slam packed every time they bring it to the racetrack.
I'm gonna tell you, next time I see you, I'm gonna come looking for you. Because Bob Newberry didn't help me much. I'm coming look for you.
You think he's got more pull than Bob?
Take me and we'll hook you up next time.
If you remember, if you walked out of the track, they were as you started to walk up the hill. They were right there on the left-hand
I
side.
didn't pay no attention to that. I stayed mostly inside the track, but.
Oh, okay.
Now, Gray, did you get to test the truck any before you doing the Martinsville race, and did you ever race anything at Martinsville?
Actually, I've never been. I used to always go there as a kid and watch Martinsville and stuff, but I never got the experience to race on the track. And we tested the week before the race, but it's just, I wouldn't even call it. I mean, yeah, it's a test, but there's so many things that's so much different. When you get 43 cup cars during the practice session, and as much as it rains at Martinsville, you always got to restart with that track because it gets so green after when it rains and it tightens up. And that's the thing, when we started off the race, we were a little bit tight because all that rubber, because the cup race was right before our race. So they laid, from 500 laps, they laid a bunch of rubber down. So there's the things with Martinsville. We learned a little bit the test, just getting me seat times. That was my first time in the truck because, with NASCAR changing the front and the nose and the tails with the new body, and it's just a little bit different, but you can't really tell it at Martinsville. But you'll be able to tell when you go to, like, the next race I run in the truck series is going to be Dover, so you'll be able to tell there. So we learned a little bit, but, I felt like I learned a lot about my pit stops and what I need to do next time. Jeff Gordon, the guys, did my stuff, and they did a great job. I had good pit stops all day, and we were running 8th on that last restart, and just one of those deals when you're on the outside, you just get booted, and I was right behind Sauter, and I just got jammed behind me. Them guys, when they start getting on the brakes, you got guys that just drive in there, send the car in too deep, but hey, it's Martinsville, that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah. Now, you said you used to watch races at Martinsville when you were a kid. Now, you realize you're still a kid, right?
I get that a lot.
Now,
a couple years ago.
You're right, yeah.
You're just trying to grow up fast, but you need to enjoy your youth while you can.
You did say you were 16, right?
Yes, sir.
There's nobody in this room under the age of 40. So we still say you're a kid.
Yeah, that's good. I hear you.
Now, what's it like to have Jeff Hensley as your crew chief? Because, I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He's won a lot of races. So, I mean, it's got to be gratifying to know that you got a guy like that setting your race car up.
Yeah, Jeff, he does a good job. Like I said, he's been able to do a lot. And in the sport, in the truck series, he's got a lot of guys that are first wins. And, he's worked with some big organizations. And he's very knowledgeable. I enjoy talking to him. I learn something new every time I talk to the guy. And me and him work real well together. It's all about the chemistry. I feel like he felt like I did a great job all weekend. I felt like he did a great job all weekend. Just the cars just didn't get up to us like we wanted to. But when you leave with a finish like that, and you had a top 10 car, a top 10 truck, you're like, what could we have done better? But for our first truck race together, I think everybody knew that we were there. We like I said, we drove from 22nd to 7th, and I think we could have drove a little bit further up there, but the caution came out and we had to come down pit road. But great, the guys did a great job. It's just all about, like I said, chemistry and everybody getting to know each other and getting to work together. The truck chief, Rambo, works real good with Jeff, and I think everybody together as a team did real well, and looking forward to doing it again in Dover.
No, I think you guys did do real well. I think you and Pistone, both of y'all, I mean, I looked up on the board, and I thought at one time you were second, he was fourth, or something along those lines on the speed chart on Friday. Now, you still good friends with Harvick? Now, did you talk to him like prior to race and what to expect going to Martinsville?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I've been able to talk to Ryan Newman, Hamlin, Harvick, them guys. They helped me out a little bit and just give me some pointers and stuff to what to expect. And that's just the thing. Look up to the guys like last year. Ryan Newman helped me out a little bit at Phoenix, and we actually won Phoenix. So it's that stuff really matters, and it counts to have a little bit of advice. But not only them guys, having veterans on the team, being able to get knowing that they've been to all these tracks all last year, and like you said, with Jeff being able to win at a lot of these tracks, it's just good to have his knowledge. And he's also like a crew chief / driver coach. He really does it all. He does a really good job doing it. And Jerry Cannon does a great job. With Chase Patel, with Chase being my teammate this year, and he actually used to be my legend crew chief, so it's actually pretty cool to have him and me and him being able to work together on one of the professional stages.
Now, how long do you have a plan of going to Nationwide, or is that a little too far right now?
No, it's just the plan is to go to Nationwide World Cup, and I love to, if I had the right opportunity as soon as I turn 18, it'd be awesome just to go straight to Cup. But with Nationwide, the age limit's 18, so it's Cup. So really, I can't go nowhere for the next 2 years because I'm, just like I said, just waiting on age.
Yeah, well, which I think is a good thing. I think you can gain a lot of experience running the mile tracks and below, which is the only thing you can run for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could run. But if NASCAR would change the age, where I could run all the races except Daytona and Talladega, that'd be cool as well. But
sounds like he's lobbying for this age thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's lobbying anyway to get older just for Caitlin,
Now,
Hey, Gray, I had somebody that asked me a question, and you can answer this how you want to. They said apparently there was some issue that you had or somebody had with you after the race. Anything on that?
I wouldn't really say. It's just one of those racing deals. That's what you got to expect in Martinsville. You got to get aggressive when it counts, in the 10 laps. And, I think, a little bit, some guys weren't too happy, but, at the end of the day, you just got to do what you got to do to gain positions. And I wasn't too happy, or I don't even know. He chopped me off 10 times the whole race, and I could have crashed him, but I didn't. I knew it was too early, and when it's time to go, you got to go. And, all I did was just give him a small tap, let him know I'm there. He moved up the racetrack outside. Turned left on me down the straightaway, but we saved it. And I went to turn one, and I was just on his bumper, and the guy behind me just ran me over. And that's the thing. Once everybody gets bottled up there, you're just basically sitting up. But, that's Martinsville, man. Tempers are going to flare, and, you just got to expect that. And if you don't, then basically you don't know. You might as well not go there because, the bumper, that's what it's there for. And small as Martinsville is, you got to use it to gain positions because it's so hard to pass there. And when you try to dive on somebody clean, they're going to want to chop you off and get you happy. But I feel like I'm aggressive, but I know how to race, and that's just the difference. When it's time to go, you just got to go.
Right. I would agree with that.
Good answer.
How frustrating is it having to start on that outside lane?
Oh my goodness, it's not the funnest feeling at all. And you go to turn one, and you try to do the best you can, just hold them as tight as possible, right on the right side door, and trying to rub it and do something. And when you see a hole, you got to take advantage, especially in the truck series. You got to be aggressive on these restarts. But the outside of Martinsville, man, it just goes absolutely nowhere. I don't think you can have the best truck by 2 seconds or whatever. I don't think any truck can make it work on the outside. There's just no grip up there. All the marbles up there, and that's the thing. Once everybody gets single file and wants to start running the bottom, that top line kind of cools off a little bit, especially under caution. When you go into turn one, you don't clean your tires off good enough. You just go straight. So outside is not where you want to be. And I felt like 90% of the time I was on the outside, and just got to do the best you can to find the hole, and that's where the spotter comes in. As soon as he says, all right, you're clear, you got to be pulling left. Even if they're there a little bit, you just got to be dirty. You just got to cut them off because you'll lose 10 spots in 2 laps. It's crazy.
Now, did you guys consciously try to place yourself coming off pit road where you were out or even to try to get on the bottom?
No, you really can't do that, man. It's just too hard, and especially, as tight as pit road is at Martinsville, you can't really, you can, but you really don't know unless you're in pit stall number 1, and when you were in pit stall 15, you really don't know if you can wait to get on the bottom. You just got to roll with the flow and hope it works out for you. So, we had good pit stops all day. We came in 8th and left 8th, so you can't say it was good or bad. It was right there in the middle. So them guys did a good job. Just like I said, just really stinks. You know, you get on the outside and you just really can't go nowhere. You just got to do the best you can to get down.
Now I race arena cars, so you were out at arena racing earlier this season. And has Ricky talked you into coming out there again yet? I'm sure he's tried to.
Yeah, the arena cars, they're a lot of fun to watch out there in Richmond. I'd much rather go watch one of those things and watch some races and go watch a late model race or something. They're so entertaining. It's like when one flips. It's kind of like another caution.
Oh, you saw Scott drive, didn't you?
He might have been there that night.
Yeah, it's intense, and especially when they get up on like the outside, right up against the wall. It's awesome.
Hey, you should talk to Scott. Maybe let you drive his car so you can give him a few
I can tear it
tips.
up just fine by myself.
Hey, Greg, are you going to be doing the Denny Hamlin race this year?
No, I'm actually. We're still trying to work it out. You know, with it being at South Boston this year, most likely not. You know, us trying to go for the championship and staying in. You know, that's our main focus. But you know, we'll probably run it hopefully. But I think it's cool it's going back to South Boston. Kathy Rice, you know, she does a great job out there at that track, and I love going there. I love running the apron around that place.
It's one of the better short tracks around. Well, we hope to see you out here at Langley, and I'm gonna be looking for you for some Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, we can see him at Richmond
Oh yeah, we'll see him in Richmond too. That's right.
Thursday night.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hey, we'll have them there, I promise. Thanks, man.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, sounds good, man. Have a great night. Thank you, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
What a good kid. I mean, he really is a good kid.
He seems to be further along than 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he seems to. I mean,
Well,
he knows his stuff.
He's going for Caitlin.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. I mean, he's well beyond his years.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, some of the things he talks about and understands, I would almost say almost like the Kyle Larson. He's mentally he's older than what he is.
You need to find the video when he did his last Legends race at Langley, when he won the national championship. One of the guys came down after he crossed the start-finish line to win it, and as he slowed down in turn one, the other guy came in and just plowed into his car on purpose. And the interview he gave on pit lane, on victory lane, for that was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it just he just seems to do a well. I mean, obviously he's been doing it a long time. I mean, even though he's only 16, he's been doing this a long time, and he's had a lot of good help.
Yeah, he's been around a lot of good people to
I mean,
help him
well,
along.
Kevin Harvick
He's
signed
well
him
organized.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what? 3 years ago?
I think it was longer than that.
No. It was just right after he did his.
Well, he met
won
Kevin
the
when he was like 8 years old. 'Cause he's got a go kart because they told me to come on down to their
Yeah,
go kart track at their house too. That's why you talking about Kevin. He's like, no, we live a little further down. We got our own go kart
No,
track.
his
out back in the yard.
his actual contract with Kevin Harvick was right after he won the championship in the Legends. He's known Kevin for a long time. He lives over there by him. But yeah, he came over on Christmas, Kevin did, and stopped by on Christmas and gave him the contract for a 5-year thing. But then when they closed down KHI, it sort of...
Yeah, well, I mean, KHI's been closed for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And he wanted you to come ride on go-karts with him?
They said we could come out there.
Yeah. Are you going to have one that's got a roll case on the top?
I seen him race Caitlin in that interview, and he dumped her at the end. But I'm used to it, so he ain't going to do that to me. I'm a little heavier than she is.
The thing about it is, I wouldn't want you to go out there and do that.
Why not? You don't think I could beat the kid?
No, because I don't want you to be embarrassed. That would be totally embarrassing.
So you're saying he don't think you can beat the kid?
I know he can't beat the kid.
He's probably got some really good stuff, I'm sure. I know. I would always like to go out to Kevin because Kevin's got a track. It's actually the racetrack. I don't know if people know it. He's got a racetrack. It's not actually on his property. It's on his neighbor's property because Delana wouldn't let him put it on his property. But they run like a. I don't know if they did it this year, but they supposedly like before the Martinsville race, everybody shows up there. And I know Tony Stewart's not allowed to come back anymore because they said he cheated. And it's kind of funny because when I interviewed, now wait a minute, it's kind of funny because I interviewed Tony, and Tony says, look, I called him up and said what the rules, asked him what the rules are. And Kevin said there is no rules. So I conformed to all rules there were to the race. I can't help there, like he brought a damn $15,000 go-kart down here and just whipped everybody. So he was not allowed to come back anymore.
There's no
he
rules,
wasn't
but
cheating. He
you can
conformed to all rules.
Well, you didn't go to Charlotte when they did their
I'm gonna
first.
tell him you're my car owner.
Oh gosh.
You can tell them that, and they ain't gonna get you nowhere.
No, I'm just told if I'm gonna embarrass myself, I'm gonna take you with me.
Well, I mean, I go out there and say I own the car. I don't have a problem with that. You're driving. I don't got nothing to do with that. But were you at the Charlotte race when they went down to do the arena race, the first arena race in Charlotte?
No.
Tony and Denny and Kyle Busch.
Kurt went. I think he was there too.
No, Kurt wasn't there for that race. No,
I know. Maybe he come up to Hampton
and Kyle Busch and there was a couple others.
Was Joe Gibbs is an investor in the group.
Yeah.
So is Norm, the owner of Interstate.
Everybody else pitted behind the racetrack outside. You know, everybody else was out there and they were all working. And the Millers basically fixed their cars for them. You know, but Tony.
So they were cheated.
But Tony and
J.J. Yaley was probably
J.J. Yaley. They were all they had to pit in the infield.
Oh really?
They got to pit in the infield, so everybody got to see them the whole time they're in there. You know, they're out there, and all you see is these guys up underneath there turning all kinds of stuff underneath the cars, and they were lifting the body up and climbing, and there wasn't nobody there but them. Mm-hmm. So it was Denny and all of them were doing all the changes. They were doing.
Well, Denny had a little experience though.
And then I know you know Matt Midget.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All right,
Matt loves the outside lane.
Matt Midget tried to wreck Tony during the
during
the race.
He quit arena racing.
Well, that's good. And he went down through there and he bumped into Tony, tried to mess Tony up. On one of the restarts, Tony destroyed his car. I mean, just flat destroyed his car. Matt Midget's car.
Okay.
I mean, the body went in 5 different pieces and it went flying, and I mean, it was everything. And it was funny. So they interviewed Tony after the race. What happened? He said, I don't know who that kid was, but he's some punk kid. Thought he was going to outrun me. There ain't no way a punk kid going to outrun me out here. And he said, so I took care of it.
Got business to take care of. Took care of.
I do like that part about Tony. I mean, I'm not a Tony Stewart fan, but I love him in the sport because he says what he thinks. You know, he's kind of like a Kurt Busch. He says what he thinks. Yeah, it's great for the sport because it brings ratings. People love to see the controversy. I love it. I think it's great.
One of the things I enjoy when we go to like the Denny Hamlin races and stuff, and Tony's involved in the middle of it, I feel so bad. Sometimes I want to pick up the camera and record all this crap and stuff, the funniest stuff you'll ever hear going on. And then I said, no, I'm just going to enjoy this for myself and I'm not going to invade the privacy of the thing. Mm-hmm. And we're talking still having 20 people in a group, and Tony's just going on, whether it's a NASCAR official, another driver. I forget, I was there with Frank Denny. Him and I were standing side by side talking, and Tony was about this far away from me, you know. And it was great listening to him go, and everybody was, it was just hilarious.
Well, you know, with April Fools and people talking about, and I don't know if you knew, Lightning's his name. He used to be a Cup official, and he used to be a crew member on Bugs Hairfield's car. He's Waddell Scott's cousin, or one of his cousins.
Wendell Scott, you mean?
Huh?
Wendell Scott?
Yeah, Wendell Scott. And Lightning is crazy. He's funny, but I guess Tony lit him on fire one time, and he got him back and with a joke, and I can't tell you on here. I have to tell you in private, but it's pretty funny because everybody says if you pull a joke on Tony, he's going to get you back like 10 times worse. I forget what was that on that video they showed on NASCAR.com where he said somebody was under the car working on somebody's car, and he come over there would like brake clean, soaked him down, and then threw a match at him and lit him up. And then when the guys jumped up, started going, they put him out with a fire extinguisher. But apparently he did that to Lightning, and Lightning got him back. I'll tell you afterwards because it's pretty funny, and I ain't saying that on TV.
Now, who was chopping off Gray? I didn't catch who he.
I don't know.
He never come out and said it. He never said who it was.
We'll find out. But I don't know. I didn't get to see the race race first.
That's right. You were talking to the police officer.
Yeah, very nice gentleman he was.
Let you off so cheap.
Oh, you got to pay a fine, bro.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good time with all our guests tonight.
Yeah.
And Scott.
You feel like you're a red hair stepchild sometime?
I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm deep.
I wouldn't go redheaded stepchild because they're.
You gotta have red hair.
You gotta have
some hair anyway.
Gotta have hair. I don't know.
Or just have like a straight.
No, but I learned a lot about Scott this weekend. Being in Martinsville with him, the buddy he had with him let me know a whole lot of stuff. And
Steve's the best.
Yeah.
You should see. You know, I told you about where we stayed because we had trouble with the truck and camper didn't make it. And you know, we're staying at a friend's house up above Martinsville. Well, the house is like inside of a mountain. It's inside of a hill. It's like the basement, and he didn't know anything about it. I knew it was a nice house.
Yeah. It's
1,900 square foot. It's 2 bedrooms. The thing's humongous. It's got a 2-car garage. Well, we leave the racetrack. He said, let's just get a room. I said, man, it ain't but a 30-minute ride up the road. Save us a couple $100. We pull up there, and it's dark. I mean, it's real dark. And the neighbor, I seen the neighbor outside. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I said, just pull on up there in the neighborhood. Everybody will know where this house is. There ain't so many houses under the ground, you know. He's like, I'm not going up there. He said, man, they'll shoot you around here. There ain't nobody going to know we're missing. They don't even know where we're at. So I said, nah. He said, you going to get out of the truck? I said, yeah. So I go up there. The guy says,
might catch him and make him squeal like a pig.
He said, yeah, you'd think you were at Deliverance, you know. He's like, the house right over there, that first driveway you pulled up over there. He said, what's that fella's name that owns it? And I said, his name is Jimmy Turner. Yeah, Turner. Yeah, same last name as a wife. So I got back in the truck, and Steve says, that motherfucker knew what his name was. He was just testing you.
That's right. That's right. Gotta be safe.
Yeah, but he was pleasantly surprised when we opened the garage. There's like 7 4-wheelers in there, and the house is so big and nice. But he was generally worried.
Well,
and then you met a lot of people. Honestly, my old boss that I worked for 10 years, Barry, which Roger knows.
Well, why did
crazy.
Why did you have to give all those people money when they talked about you?
Well, because I wanted to talk good about it.
That's what I'm getting ready to say.
No wonder he couldn't get the truck fixed. He didn't have enough money left over.
Because I know not that many people going to talk nice.
The neighbors from my neighbors up on the hill that ran into you, they're nice. They're good people.
Yeah, they were nice people.
But wasn't that family? Wasn't that family?
No.
Oh.
They're just people. They happen to be camping up there for all these years, and I've been camping up there, so we always see each other. They'll message me, hey, because they actually messaged me Friday morning. They said, where are you at? Are you coming? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm here, but my camper's not.
But by the way, I did run into Tony. Okay, caught him as he was coming up out of the underpass there, and
yeah, you can tell he's having a hard time walking.
yeah, he was that leg was giving him a hard time. He was taking it nice and easy. So be glad when it gets all the way up to full power. Everybody else better watch out.
Somebody's been they've been helping him up and down the steps.
He was doing it on his own.
What did?
Actually stood there and waited until he got up because he was coming up the downside.
Oh.
Well, he probably was trying to keep the guys that were going up from having to stop.
No,
But
he just does whatever he wants to do.
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Tony Stewart. I will do whatever I want.
And ain't no punk ass kid.
That's exactly right.
Them boys in Australia, they don't mess around either with him anymore. But,
All right.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Well,
Stick a fork in Scott.
I won't say a word.
All right. Glad everybody enjoyed.
I do want to say
the show.
one thing before we take off.
Okay.
I don't think I told you, but the guy Tim Plogger that we had on the show from Kroger, he passed away Tuesday before the Martinsville race, and they sponsored a race. So my condolences go out to those guys and thoughts and prayers. Apparently he had cancer, and he just didn't want anybody to know. I knew he had been getting sick, obviously from seeing him, but you know, he was just very private, and he's got 2 young. Well,
At
one is
least we had a
26
good
and the other
time
was
with
like
him
13
on the
years.
show before.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a good guy. It's actually the first time I got to go into victory lane and get my picture taken with Kevin Harvick when he won in the Tide car, which he's involved with. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool weekend. But I just want to say, thoughts and prayers out to those guys.
On that note, we'll see everybody next week. Already got some people lined up. How about you guys?
Yeah.
All right, we didn't do this.
Well, when you find out, you need to let.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Terri O'Connell, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Polens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver the 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's